Are you a masochist? Do you know a masochist? Am I a masochist? Do you hate your life? Do you want to just spend hours looking at a floating cookie on your screen, kind of just sitting there? Well, if that stuff fits you, try Cookie Clicker. It is the most interactive, graphically intense, and quick-to-beat games on the market. To prove all of these claims, I'm going to be playing a bit of Cookie Clicker today to find out just how painful it really is. I'm also going to try to add some of my own lore bits just to spice things up and make the vid enjoyable for those to watch that aren't masochists. As I spawned into the beautiful open world of Cookie Clicker, I immediately had trauma and flashbacks of when I used to pirate this game on my school Chromebook all those several months ago. Then, with nothing better to do, I clicked the big giant cookie for the first time. And I instantly opened up an autoclicker because I ain't getting carpal tunnel just yet. Then, I realized that everyone would yell at me in the comments for not experiencing the game in its truest form, so I decided to shelf that idea until nobody was looking. After a while though, I decided that I needed an autoclicker back, but this time I was going to use the in-game one. Now then, meet the cursor. He's a tiny boy that is destined to circle around my cookie for eternity, with no other job than to click it at the slowest pace in the world. I'm getting 1/10 of a cookie per second. This thing is producing little cookie shards and then trying to pass them off to me. I obviously won't stand for this though, so I decided to get him some friends to spend some time with. If all things work together, maybe they can all unite and create a strong society of cookie brotherhood, where they are all equal and they must obey the ever-forceful government and... Whoa, I got off topic there. To make sure the cursors wouldn't turn into communists, however, I brought in the only lady for the job. Meet Grandma. She's been alive since the idea of communism was first introduced, and after spending too much time in the Soviet Union, she has grown to taste the government style. After a while, Grandma kept everything in check, until the farmer union showed up. Now, Grandma has had a lot of experience with communists, due to living the typical American dream in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but she's never had to deal with the people standing up to her and the almighty freedom that she protects. Because of this lack of resistance, the farmer union soon got their way and gained the rights to expand their land. However, due to the limited resources on the ground, the rookie farmers could only grow so much before they no-clipped off the side of the earth. Because Flat Earth is canon in Cookie Clicker. So they decided to move their operations below ground. Earthy cookies, how fun. At this time, however, the grandmas decided that they had had enough of the Union, and they decided to upgrade themselves to be able to infiltrate all of the Union's bases, including some Industrial Revolution-esque factories that had been built down the road. Now that the grandmas had complete control over the flow of goods, they could finally make sure that the cursor's evil plan to establish cookie communism in the society would not prosper. The cursors decided to build a bank. Now, let me give you a little briefing in Cursor Bank. It was founded about an hour or two after the first cursor came into being, just to show how fast they evolve. Now, with the grandmas controlling the flow of goods and the cursors controlling the flow of money, an apparent stalemate had been reached, until a third party intervened. The monks from a faction of the cookie religion rolled into town, and they were not happy. They said that instead of extracting resources from the floating cookie in the sky, they should instead delegate the task to the almighty Watts, who was the link between the almighty cookie and them. With the promise of golden cookie buffs that could massively strengthen their power, the communist cursors and the grandmas of democracy decided to accept the monk's deal and force Watts to click golden cookies for them. Luckily, Watts was a masochist who had nothing better to do with his time. Plus he was editing videos on his other monitor. So he graciously accepted this offer and started providing buffs for all. Soon, with enough funds, the grandmas were able to fund a wizarding school that could teach their ranks how to properly unsummon a cursor if it ever got into a powerful governing position. Oof, that's brutal. The cursors did not like magic meddling with their affairs, however, so they decided that they would get revenge by turning the history tables and win the space race before the democratic grandmas. They, of course, had to send up one of the Cursor's dogs, though, just to make sure it was safe. Now at this point, almighty sugar lumps had begun to enter the world. Yes, I had been playing this game long enough to where sugar lumps were a thing. However, before Watts could even think about how to guard his sugar lump, the grandmas were able to steal it and advance their school of magic to where they could use many different spells. This wide variety didn't matter, however, as Watts decided that the only spell worth anything was conjure baked goods. Now that the grandmas had seen a taste of the true power of magic, they decided to fully commit to alchemy, the ancient art of turning gold into cookies. The Cursors were not happy about this, however, and they decided to try to use their secret strategy of massively increasing their numbers over the grandmas and trying to complete the almighty triple cursor ring around the cookie, as the monks had told them that doing this would give them complete control over the power of the floating cookie. However, their plan was stopped when they were only 10 cursors shy, due to low profits from one of their banking sectors. The Cursors were determined not to lose, though. As a last-ditch effort, they decided to turn the milk lake below the cookie blood red to represent the colors on their flag. The blood that they have bled together to thwart the plans of the grandmas. You know what? We'll just say that they like the color red for legal reasons. Unfortunately for both sides, however, Watts needed to leave for a while after that, and he then returned to the Cookie Land. He realized that he could ascend to a new plane of existence and leave them all behind. Fortunately for them, however, he needed 27 more possible ascensions before he could even think about leaving it all behind, so he was forced to stay as their servant for much, much longer. And that's where my video wraps up. I know it's a lot more fast-paced and a lot shorter than the stuff that I've put out previously, but I just want to try to experiment with new editing styles, really see what sticks, see what the community likes, just, generally experiment. This is a newish channel, so I want to see what I'm capable of doing, but thank you for sticking around through this video. I will probably be uploading next week. I will try to upload an Elden Ring video, so if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that bell, because that bell is really important, because it shows you when my new videos are out. And yeah, just leave a comment of what you want to see more of. If you hate this series, please let me know, because if I see a lot of negative feedback, I will stop playing Cookie Clicker immediately. But yeah, thanks for watching. Watts out.